What's up, guys? I'm here with Rich from Ground Force Sports, and he's got a great pitching drill, the ZINGER drill, that he's going to share with us, that he uses, and he progresses to his King of the Hill, which he's the creator, owner of the King of the Hill, a great pitching device that teaches kids basically how to use their legs.
Exactly.
So tell us about the drill, where you got it, and how you do it.
Sure. Yeah, the first thing is I got it from Johnny ZINGER, coach extraordinaire down in Phoenix, Arizona. He's the one that worked with Matt Libator, number 12 or 13 MLB pick in the last MLB draft. One of the things John's huge on is feel, and that's what all of us should be about. We should give them some drills that isolate different parts so we can give them the feel of what they have to do on the mound. And one of the first things is the lower half, because I think that's one of the first things we ought to teach is the lower half. Because the lower half will make the upper half better. So with this post right here, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the kids a feeling, try to get the kids a feeling of loading that backside, staying on that backside as long as we can. And one of the things I'll explain to you, I see an awful lot of kids break down this knee really early into the delivery. And it's actually, even when their leg comes down, they're pushing it, and it pushes us out on the front side. We can't stay on the backside unless this knee stays back with it too. So I noticed like Chapman and Carl Edwards, like we talked about, when they come off the mound, they start going forward and this knee stays back, and we start to cause the femur to point the opposite direction. So if you watch what my back knee does, the femur starts pointing out this way. And what it allows us to do is stay on this backside longer. Because we want, once the front foot hits the upper torso, to rotate and come forward like we want it to. So what this post is supposed to do, actually it's just PVC I got down at Home Depot or Ace Hardware. Anyways, it's a support. And basically what we want to do is support their front side, their front arm, so they can learn to feel that counter rotation on the backside along with staying on the backside. And if you notice my upper body, when I push my front knee forward, it pushes everything forward. When I stay back, I can cause these kids, or have these kids, start to feel that first initial movement, which is a counter rotation of the hips, which means I'm starting to turn this way while I'm moving forward. So it's just like this right here, and I've seen Matt Libator do this several times, and that's where I actually picked it up and started watching what he was using it for. So right now what I do is I have my guys go about 6 inches out in front and put the post down. Again, I'm supporting myself on this, and just get them the feeling of turning, and while they're going down into this backside, causing flexion. And again, when I push my knee forward, I can't cause flexion. It's really tough to cause flexion. When what I mean by flexion is this angle right here, just like we see with Chapman, and we see with Clemens, and we see with all the power pitchers. So when I do this, I want to cause a little hip rotation, counter rotation, and get down into this backside. So now, once they do this enough times where they're leading with their heel, which means I'm staying closed, now I'm going to move this up about 3 or 4 inches and have them do the same thing. I want them to do that counter rotation and get that heel going down the mound. Then I'll even go maybe 3 or 4 inches. And obviously you can get it out there too far if you're too far, because you're eventually got to have that front foot open up. But it's a point to just giving these kids a little support right here so they can feel this right here sitting down on that back side.
And I mean, that's a great drill. Two of the main things that I talk about with my kids pitching is that flexion and then the engagement. The engagement for me is getting into that back leg, but also keeping the knee just inside and then turning it out. That's how we keep it engaged. We don't want it just stacked, and we don't want it just dropping in. We want it inside the foot, but engaged, turning it out. I call it the angled corkscrew. So I'm angled in just a little bit, and I'm corkscrewing it out, just like Rich drew the arrow over here. And that's going to put them in a good position. The other thing that this drill really helps with is helping them feel staying closed when they do that, because if they're going to open up, they might hit that pole, or they're going to feel it when they open up. They're going to start coming forward a little bit too much. So it's a great drill. I talk about those two things, the staying flexed and engaged, in my video that I created. It's called Pitching Velocity Killers. It's on YouTube. I talk about that, and I also talk about what you mentioned before a little bit, was the front leg on landing. A lot of guys are soft on the front leg. I think that's a huge issue, and I think this drill indirectly helps that, because they're gonna have to stay closed and stacked back longer as they get into that front leg.
Right. You know what? I never thought that the King of the Hill was a fix-all, because it's not. Even before I have my guys get on this, we talk about that front side, because it doesn't matter how much energy you're causing to go down the mound. If this front foot is soft, or in a case where I'm a heel-toe guy because of the mechanical positioning of the leg instead of a toe-heel, the toe causes the calf to activate. The heel causes the quads to dominate, or to actually activate.
And which one's bigger? Obviously, you want the bigger muscle
Yeah,
that will be working.
and it actually causes the front side to brace up. Again, if you try to stop your front knee just by putting your toe down, or put your heel toe down, it braces up.
Much better.
Yeah. So what I was getting at is that's the first thing I teach. I don't just get them on here and say, okay, let's make this thing work.
Gotcha. And I asked you last video how often so you cut that one out before I asked you. I like that. But there's another thing that I was doing with the old model that we had. I took the rubber off and was putting it on the front leg.
Right.
And we talked off camera before, gave me a great idea of cutting out some plywood around it. A base. So now the whole thing is level.
Correct.
And I could have my guys pitch on that.
Yeah.
I love that. We got to make a video about that one day.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Because it's, again, doesn't matter how much energy you create down the mound. If this side doesn't brace up to cause the hips to rotate, boom, not going to work.
Awesome. Guys, if you guys are interested in the King of the Hill, this is actually the pro model. This is the regular King of the Hill.
Yep.
And again, it's a great tool because you don't have to talk so much. As a coach, it makes my job easier. I don't have to tell the player everything that I'm seeing and try to explain it to him because he's not seeing what I'm seeing. So it's hard. As coaches sometimes, we talk too much. And with this, they can just jump on this and they're gonna get that instant audible feedback right away. And I don't have to say much except, how did that feel? They hear whether they're doing it or not.
Exactly.
So they know if they're using their legs or not.
Right.
And
right.
Within a couple minutes on the King of the Hill, most guys are going to start to feel what it feels like to create that energy with that back leg flexed and engaged and create that energy going forward.
Right, because if they can't feel it, they can't duplicate it.
Right.
It's just like Pavlov's dog, ding, 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 it's time to eat. They hear that click, they duplicate it very easily. And you can move on to the next thing.
There you go. Now, add in the Zinger drill as a progression before you get to the King of the Hill.
Yep, exactly.
And just work on it.
Yep.
Obviously, nothing's going to fix itself. You guys got to get out there and do the work. If you just have this sitting in your room, it's not going to do anything.
Exactly.
You got to get on here and get some work.
And you know, this is the one that all the MLB teams are requiring now. And I told you I counted last week, and I'm thinking we got like 62 or 64 of them in the MLB.
That's awesome.
Second only to the batting tee, the Tanner tee.
Okay. And you're all over the collegiate. Most colleges have you.
Yeah.
And this is just the pro model is for, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but for spikes. So you can wear your spikes on this outside. That's why the pro teams use it a lot, because they want to use it.
They throw it actually up on top of the mound in the bullpen.
Oh, nice. Very nice. If you guys are interested in checking out the pro model or the regular King of the Hill, check out the link down below, yougoprobaseball.com. And I've got a few videos, drills, how I use it to train my pitchers. And if you order from my website, I'll hook you guys up with that. So
actually, you have a whole program of it.
Yes, yep. So
and you're offering it free if they buy. You are the man.
Yeah. So check the link down below, and we will we'll see you in the next video.